Okay, I'm sitting here with my wife, and she's coughing, so she may add some sound to the presentation. But one of my favorite sayings is "leverage is advantage," and that was defined by Mark Ferrante at a talk one time. He's the great former offensive line coach and now head coach of Villanova, the Wildcats. And one time I was speaking with Nick Tabaka, who's currently the offensive line coach of Michigan State, and he told me that he believed that leverage, and there were two types of leverage. There was advantage leverage and mechanical leverage. And that got me thinking that, leverage is advantage, and levers are things that provide mechanical advantage. And finally, I heard Russ Grimm talk one time when he was a line coach in the NFL, and he talked about his sequence of teaching players who to block, how to block them, and when to block them. And of course, who we can't change, that's our system. How is what we're going to talk about today, and when is what I've been talking about from in terms of green, yellow, and red light. He was talking about snap count. Okay, you can't break the huddle without knowing the snap count, but snap count's a science in and of itself. Okay, we'll go back to leverage. Leverage is advantage. That's the way we talk about it. Who has the advantage? And we say that advantage determines technique. And technique is how we do it. It's how we block somebody. Not who do we block, but how we block them. Okay, and when is for us is it's the pace. Okay, but let's just compare the two core schemes that I like to talk about. The C gap run, where the read spot is inside leg of the tight end, whatever, inside cheek, whatever. And everyone's C side in this case, if the read spot is to the right, everyone's C side, the place they're looking and the gap they're going to control is to the right. So the center's gap to the right, the guard's gap to the right, tackle's gap to the right, tight end's gap. There isn't really a gap, but he's to the right. And we talk to the running backs about the C gap run, the read spot. We want them to try their very best to put their feet on the read spot. Now, these linemen will be all over the place, but they measure from where the ball is snapped to the read spot, and you can see it, okay? And then we also have things called the stovepipe, which is from the read spot back to the guard, the Apache, and the match. Okay, in the A-gap run, the read spot is the backside leg of the center, okay? And that's still the C side, okay? Still everyone's right gap is their gap, okay? But the area changes. The stovepipe is now from the butt of the center to the butt of the tackle. Everything to the C side of the read spot is matching, or what we added a concept called accordion. This is now the stovepipe, okay? And everything past the tackle is the Apache area. And if you look at it this way, okay, here's C gap run, okay, here's A gap run, here's Apache. It's basically the center, guard, and tackle, and anybody left. The stovepipe is basically the tackle, guard, possibly the tight end. Okay, that's C gap. And if you go here with A gap, here are the two stovepipe blockers. Here are all the match blockers. And here you can say Apache, okay, but we're going to handle it either by an Apache blocker, an encircler, a trap, some kind of a trap back by either a split zone or what have you, or we're going to quarterback read it and we're going to eliminate that defender in that area in the A gap by the quarterback. And we've added things. A gap concept. We've gone to the veer blocking. Okay, really wishbone blocking. So we're going to isolate a guy that we're going to read. And then the match area, we use accordion type techniques. We call it dig. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, but just the point I'm trying to make is the read spot for the C gap and the read spot for the A gap. All we're talking about is leverage. All right, the ball is crossing the line of scrimmage here. At least we hope it is. The back can make these guys right. These guys have got to Apache or encircle and eliminate pursuit down the line of scrimmage. And these guys, or this guy, basically we're going to either give them a leverage block where all they have to do is block a guy that's already been blocked and keep him blocked, or they're going to dig back inside and help out. Okay, and that is the idea of leverage. Okay, let me show you a little bit more of a practical look. In each of these examples, okay, we're going to have C gap and A gap below, and we're going to talk about the guards in every one of these examples. All right, in this example, we have green light. Okay, and what we're going to do based on the leverage is we're going to cover this guy up with the right guard. That's his C-side gap. It's green light. Guy in your gap, go get him. Who determines if he's in your gap? You do. Okay. Back here in the Apache area, we have a green light. Okay. It looks kind of like that, but we're so far away from the read spot that what we want to do is Apache or encircle. We want to encircle to prevent pursuit down the line of scrimmage. Now drop down to the A gap, same look, everything's the same. This guard has got the read spot to his blind side, and that gap is his gap, and there's a guy in it. He's got leverage. He's got advantage to that read spot. All he has to do is keep this guy blocked, and what we say to him is match him. Give the illusion that you're going to cover him, see if you can get him to run a little bit, but don't let him collapse on the read spot. Don't let him cross your face. So when we cover, we try to get in front of somebody. When we match him, we try to trap him with the far hand. So in other words, use the left hand and keep him from closing on the read spot. Here, you're in the stovepipe. You're going to do exactly what this guard did in the C-gap run. You're going to do it here. You're going to cover this guy up. You're going to get in front of him, and the back is going to make you right. If this guy pursues this way, the back's going to go here. If he rocks back this way, the back will pierce it. It's yeah, coach, he's in my gap. Why can't I? Why shouldn't I do this? Well, no. Here's the read spot, bud. Okay. When the read spot's here, you've got to make sure he doesn't pursue. We don't care if he penetrates. We've got to make sure he doesn't pursue. Here, we got to keep him from penetrating, or at least control the penetration, and the back will cut off of you and make you right. Okay? That's green light. Okay? Guy in my gap, he's mine. Okay? Going down to red light, same two guards, different front. Okay, here, nobody's in the gap. Okay, that means red light. There's nobody close enough for you to touch. We would say that you are in red light. Okay, this guy, same thing. You might say, well, he's a 3-tech. No, well, whatever. I'm telling you that you're in red light right now. Okay, nobody close enough for you to touch without taking a step. All right, so C-gap run. I don't know, keep going out of focus. C-gap run, you're going to shuffle. You're going to try and get as close to this tackle as you can. Square. Okay, we say that red light is square to air. Okay, so you're going to shuffle. Basically, it's a kick slide. We don't slide, we stomp. But you're going to open step, drop, step deep, and open that leg, and shuffle and see what's coming to your gap. If nothing's coming to your gap, you're going to put the brakes on and rewind and see if you can help the center before you go off to probably your linebacker. You're going to hang around, red light. You're going to wait. Okay, now when I say wait, I don't mean like forever. I mean, you're going to no more than 3 shuffles ever. If you're unsure, keep shuffling and hammer or plow. Okay, because this is, you say, well, this guy's hanging in my gap. Okay, define him. Define him for the tackle. If you're pretty sure, start the rewind. Don't shut the center off. He is going to Apache. Don't shut him off. You're going to just give him some help, stay square to air, and then go back into your shuffle and find your linebacker. Here, in the C gap, you are an Apache. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to encircle that gap. Okay, you're going to make sure that nothing's going to hit that gap. Okay, you got plenty of time. If you're going to work the line of scrimmage, okay, first thing you're going to do I need to help the center? Do I need to define anything? Okay, next thing you're going to do is anything runs through. Third thing you're going to do is put the brakes on and use your arm. Okay, where here you use a shoulder chip, here you're going to use your arm, your left arm, because you're moving right. You're going to call that a Heisman Trophy. You're going to stay square to air. You're going to use the arm. Okay, it's sort of like dragging the hand, but you're literally, you look like, John Heisman. You've got that arm. You've still got the open leg here. You still got the open leg here. Always keep that open leg. And you're going to use the arm, give the tackle some help, and then work this way, because the back is going to move the linebackers this way. All right? So that's red light and C gap. Here in A gap, all right, this guard has got red light. There's no reason for him to shuffle wide. So he's going to really jitter. He's going to hang around. He's going to brace for place, and he's going to right away think, I'm going to shoulder chip this nose. Okay, the center now is matching, so he's not going to Apache. So you're not going to shut him off with a quick chip. First thing you're going to do is look and see if that end is coming at you. Look and see if anything's going to hit your gap. Okay, and then you're going to stay square to air, give a shoulder chip. All right, you might have to stuff, you might whatever, but you're going to keep. You might have to turn the turret, the upper body, but you're never going to turn the tank. You're going to keep that open leg, and then you're going to try and find work. Now, you're going to work a spot, and it's probably the linebacker, okay, but it could be anybody, all right? Same thing here. But now you're in the stovepipe, okay? So now you got to be a little cagey. You're going to look for help from the center, but remember, the center is matching here, so he doesn't need as much help as he does on the Apache. And you're going to really think about jittering and putting the brakes on. And now you'd probably shoulder chip this guy. You wouldn't Heisman him like here, because you haven't moved this far. You haven't gone as far. So you're going to come back and chip and really, really become the rock. You're going to really shut this guy off and help the tackle cover him up. Remember, the tackle now is in the stovepipe too. And you're going to you might turn into a double team, all right? So the leverage is what's determining the technique selection. Coach, we're red light. Why don't we do it the same? Well, we don't, okay? We don't, because of different leverage. And then finally, yellow light. Okay, we're going to take these 2 guards and we're going to put a guy nose up. Doesn't have to be nose up. He could be shaded a little bit one way or the other, but we say he's not in your gap. It's yellow light. And if we're running C gap, okay, we are going to try to get cover, and you don't need much cover, okay? Probably don't have to scoot, all right? Here, we would use a scoot technique to get cover, all right? We don't have to scoot here. We probably could just do an open leg brace and come back and I would stuff it, all right? That's what we would say to the kid. Use 2 hands and stuff it back and see if you can get, the center's going to be coming for an Apache. The center's probably going to define him and knock him onto you. So you've already got 2 hands on him. You're in pretty good shape. If he knocks him into your gap, guess what? It's green light. Go get him, all right? Here, you're an Apache, okay? We're running C gap. There's the read spot. First thing you want to do is make sure you don't get beat on a spike. Next thing you want to do is make sure you don't get beat from the seaside. All right. The tackle's coming to you. He might wind up grabbing this guy. It depends on the way he's playing. Okay. But more than likely, he's going to hammer him and define him to you. You're going to take him and you're going to take him off the ball, making sure you're going to ear hole him, making sure that he doesn't cross your face. If he does cross your face, if you just can't slow him down, you're going to drive him through the stovepipe, and the back will see that and make you right. All right. Now going down here in the A gap run, okay, you're always going to open leg. You're always going to check your gap. Always, 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 always. And if this guy makes it easy for you, okay, and comes to your gap, you grab him with two hands, and it's business. If he stays yellow light and tries to two gap you, you're just going to step. Nothing. Remember, you've got leverage on this. Everyone's got to come through you, okay? You're going to come back and do what we call a dig. You're going to force two hands on him, okay? And you're hoping that the center is going to come over, shuffle over, and hammer him and knock him over. This is the hay bale. And we don't skip the center, but I think you could. It's just that on the shotgun, it gets a little hairy, in my opinion, okay? So he's going to stay square. He's going to hammer and knock this guy over. This is the hay bale, okay? The hay bale, all right? And that is, you're going to try and define him into your gap and take him off the ball. The center's going to try and define him and take him off the ball. But you're going to literally, if nothing hits your gap, you're going to literally come back, and we call this dig, you are going to turn the tank and make sure that you can get him so the center doesn't get used up on him, and the center can get to layers and block the spot. Okay, over here, we're going to shoulder roll and chip. We're going to shoulder roll too here initially, okay, because you don't want this guy getting two hands on you, all right? We're going to shoulder roll to protect our chest, and we're going to get two hands on him. Here, it all depends on what we decided. If we're going to double team this thing, okay, because we're running a veer scheme, all right, we would use a shoulder roll and shoulder chip and keep the arm free, okay? So we want to open leg, come back, build the wall, rock, become the rock, and just set this guy up, and he's going to come over and either hammer him to you or cover him and double team him, and you're going to take him off the ball. If it's an M situation, if we're M calling it, we're not reading it, whatever, you're going to go ahead and take and roll that shoulder and force the dig. Now, we don't like that because it kind of exposes the gap, but it's got to be like for a duo or something like that where you're not getting a double team. To me, if I'm running duo, I'm still double teaming. Okay, I'm going to force a double team. It's more important for me in this to get movement here. And when we M called it, it was always a compromise. So we kind of eliminated the man. M is man call. We eliminated it. Okay, we're going to force a double team, and that would stay with the shoulder roll, the open leg, and the hand, the free hand. We're going to just knock this thing back. Again, if we M call it, he's got to use a dig technique too. All right. He doesn't have great leverage to the read spot. He has no leverage to the read spot, and it exposes it somewhat. That's why we eliminated it. Anyway, that is my best explanation of leverage that I can tell you. Okay. And leverage, again, leverage is advantage, and advantage determines technique. Technique is how we do it. Thank you, Mr. Grimm. Thank you, Mr. Tabaka, and thank you, Mr. Ferrante. Good luck.